続きましてのゲームはバイオハザード3ラストエスケープ。こちらのタイトルも解説の方いらっしゃいませんので、わかる方いらっしゃいましたら、ご協力いただけたらと思います。カテゴリーは 2% で、奏者はヨシチーフさんですかね。PC 版のバイオ3です。まあ、2% ってことなんですけど、ちょっとどういうあれなのか、わからないので、どういう仕様、どういうルール、どういうグリッチを使うのかとか、ちょっとその辺全くわからないので、ちょっと見てるだけになってしまうかもしれないんですけど、結構スピードラン .com 見てますと、割となんか細かく、結構細かくカテゴリーというか、そうですね、カテゴリーとか機種とかがね、分かれてるなという感じですけど、ちょっと今、奏者の方が見当たらないな。どこなんだろう。早い方はね、もう41分とかでクリアしちゃうみたいですね。すごいな。できるんだ。
Alrighty, friends, welcome back. It is Oasis here, and you are watching Fastest First Fall Fest 2025 in support of Trans Lifeline. The mission of Trans Lifeline is to connect trans people to the community support and resources that they need to survive and thrive. They envision a world where trans people have the connection, economic security, and care that everyone needs and deserves, free of police, emergency responders, and prisons that disproportionately inflict violence and mistreatment on trans individuals. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline operators have answered over 100,000 calls from their peers, and we fully support the mission of Trans Lifeline to help and empower trans people through the power of community and shared lived experience. To learn more, please visit www.translifeline.org or type !charity in the chat. We have a $5 donation from Sam Bunny, and it says, "My wife used to be really afraid of Tails Doll, but now she often speed runs the Tails Doll creepypasta ritual in front of me and my friends. It's always so cute." I think it's cute too. Thank you, Sam Bunny, for your generous $5 donation. And just to give all of you an update, we are now $160 away from meeting the Watch the Extra Final Boss cutscene for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. If you want to add on a little bit more marathon to the marathon, make sure you get your money in for that donation incentive, because that will be open all the way up until the start of the final boss fight. And we have also unlocked a new donation incentive for our first bonus game. If you want to watch Jak and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy, it's going to cost you $1,000 to do it. I know you can do it, chat, but please do donate to the Watch the Extra Final Boss cutscene thing. You definitely want to make sure the final boss is dead. You can't just take the word for it and just leave the room and assume that they're gonna be dead. You just can't do that. You gotta make sure the job is done. Make sure you pay our friends at Dragon Roast Coffee a visit as you watch Fast and Furious Fall Fest 2025 and get yourself some beans to help keep you energized. While shopping, enter the promo code FALLFEST at checkout for 10% off your order. Dragon Roast is also thrilled to offer 2 Fall Fest exclusives that will only be available during the marathon. Their Pixel Perfect Coffee Roast and a custom Fall Fest 2025 tumbler. The Dragon Roast Coffee will donate $5 to Trans Lifeline per bag of Pixel Perfect coffee sold during the event, and for every $15 for every Fall Fest tumbler. Please visit their website dragonroast.coffee or use the command !coffee in the chat for a direct link to our event store. I have just received word that we are ready to descend into the depths of Raccoon City. So, everyone, please give a round of applause for our good friend YoshiChief!
画面来ましたね。
Hello, everybody. Is this thing on? Hey, everyone. I'm YoshiChief. I am your UK representative of
これ
Stars.
ラストエスケープって書いてあるんで、あれですね。多分 PC の日本版ですね。これ英題がバイオハザード、レジデントエビル3、ネメシスなんですけど、でもどうなんだろうな。海外版でも、一応バイオハザードっていう表記になってるんですかね。でもあれですね。このバイオハザード3って、いわゆるそのラジコン操作、視点が、カメラがそれぞれの場所で固定で、その中を動き回って、一定の地点まで来るとまた次のカメラに切り替わってっていう進み方をする最後のバイオハザードだったと思うんですよね。そんなことねえな。そんなことないな。一応その後に出た、ゲームキューブのリマスターとかゼロとかもそうだったかな。バイオゼロまでが画面固定のやつだったかな。ラジコン操作のやつだったんですかね。PC で出てるバイオハザードでは多分3が一番最初だと思うんですよね。2って多分 R いつまで出てないんじゃないかな。やっぱり。はい。はい、タイマー始まりました。グッドラックです。
This little section, there's one common denominator between all types of classic Resident Evil runs. We have item management, we have enemy management, and we have movement. All very, very important things to keep in mind of. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, there's a number of factors that will either help us or hinder us in terms of RNG. We'll come up to the first one in a little bit.
これコスチュームちょっと変わってますね。
One other thing I should mention is that you can skip doors in this game, but don't go and just mash the skip button now because
なんかみんながよく知ってる。
the different rooms, you have to skip at different times. If you know that the next
なんか腰に上着巻きつけてるやつじゃないですね。
You have to wait about half a second before skipping it. If you know that the music stays the same, you can skip immediately. Don't ask me why it works like that. It only works like that.
ディノクライシスみたいな。ディノクライシスみたいな格好してますね。でも時期的には近いからあったのかな、コスチューム。
It normally takes about 16 frames before I'm able to select either option. If I use a key which basically
でもなんかこれなんか日本語ですね。日本語版ですね。これPC 版って日本語版と中国語版があるんですけど、どうもなんか記録を見てると中国語版の方がちょっと早いらしいと。
happens is after
という
that,
ことらしいん
you
ですけど、
bargain, you
これなん
they
か日本語版
they barge
で
into
あ
the
ること
door,
の理由ってなんかあるんですか
and
ね。
then re-enter the room. And
謎で
part
す
of that
ね。
is because the zombies will be in turbo mode. You don't want that. They're gonna just go right at you, and this just gives you the best possible way to avoid getting bitten, which unfortunately did happen right there.
Exactly, but however, I will say a good basement is about 2 bites.
いや、この感じめっちゃ懐かしいな。
second time, but I was able to get away. The way that zombie bites work in this particular game is if you are in a particular room and you get grabbed, you have to take at least 1 bite. There's no way around it. However, if you're in the same room and you get bitten again, you can mash the buttons on the stick to get out of it, provided you mash it fast enough. This will reset each time you enter a different room, however. So don't go hugging zombies around too much here. Now, first bit of RNG is coming up. What will happen when I go to the lighter gate? Hopefully, we won't be seeing a cutscene at all near it, but let's see. Looks like we get the middle one, where we get a cutscene after I combine the lighter, which is okay, but it's not the worst RNG, so I am fine for now.
Isn't that basically most ideal if you are to get the cutscene?
No, it's the most ideal if you don't get a cutscene at all and they just break through the gate without any fuss. Now,
No, I mean like
このバイオハザード今、
if you are to get the cutscene, like
あれですね。
automatically.
2% ではあるんですけど、
in the run there that is the second most ideal. Oh no. What was I supposed to do there was
2% ではあるんですけど、あんまりなんか、
as soon as I hit
あれですね。
but I was a little bit too slow down. Now, second bit of RNG. Do I have a zombie on the
ずるっぽいことは今んとこしてないですね。
That's $3. That zombie's known as Neymar. Neymar likes to lie on the floor a lot. If you know football, if you know European football, you know what I mean there. Now we have the evidence room locker combination. There are 4 different combinations. Hopefully, I pressed the wrong one there. 0, 1, 1. Oh no. Is it this one? 1, 5, 1.
ああ、これいくつかあれがあるんですかね。パターンがあるんですかね。
Third best out of 4. You lose a few seconds each time you get one wrong, but it could have been worse. We did get the evidence room key in the end, and now we have to go to the STARS office, where another big reset point in the run is coming up for most high-level runners. The weapon that you get in the police locker. You want to get a grenade launcher. You do not want to get the Magnum. Let's see what happens. First, we're going to pick up a first aid spray just for safety, and then we'll see. It's the grenade launcher! We want that.
Hey, let's go.
The reason why is that as much as how Magnums are cool and they are good in casual runs, unfortunately, they don't really suit us very well in the speedrun because they just do not stun enemies, especially Nemesis, long enough for it to matter. And grenade launcher has different types of ammunition, which is really, really good. So we're gonna pick up the blue gem, and then we're gonna make our way towards the center of town. So Oasis, while I do that and then get absolutely slapped by Nemesis just there, do you have any messages for us?
I do have a $5 donation from Shovel Claws for the bonus game, saying, doing my part to meet that bonus game. Chat, I want to run so bad. Pretty please.
Good stuff. Oh, absolutely. We definitely want to see that happen. Absolutely, for sure. You know what I want to see happen? I want to see Jill give Nemesis stars, because that is another incentive that we have up on here, which will be cut off towards the very end of the run. Yep. It's simply just playing another cutscene. We want to see that cutscene, don't we?
Yeah, and all it will take is $160 more in order to make that happen, chat. Come on, I know you can do it. You want to make sure that the final boss is dead. You can't just leave the room. What if he just gets up and leaves before everything gets blown up?
No, right? You can never be too sure. Now, before we get up to the next area, we have another enemy, which is new to us here. The Drain Demos. They're not very nice, basically. The dodge. Jill with the nice back dodge here. Now, into the really nasty alley here. We want this zombie to move over so we can move to the other side, then hang to the left, and that zombie turboed. So, to explain what turboing is, any zombie in the entire game, and I do literally mean any zombie, has a chance to just simply go what's known as turbo, which doubles their walk speed, and they're more likely to grab you, and that's never fun. And I did want to try and hang to the left to avoid the zombies, because if you're near a staircase, they will only try and vomit on you and not grab you. But unfortunately, that front zombie there was just like, I want to grab you. The next life selection, most of the life selections you see, by the way, just pick the
いつの間にかカルロスいるな。
exceptions.
急に出たな、カルロス。
The top option, just so we can go down here and then enter the vent and then go back up. Nice of you to give us an assist there, Carlos. Thank you.
Good guy, Carlos.
Good guy, Carlos. Yeah. So something that's actually very difficult to achieve in this game is the dodge mechanic. The way it works is that if you either press the aim weapon button right before you get attacked, or if you press the action button while your weapon is raised right before you get attacked, you then perform a dodge. However, the timing for it is incredibly strict. So a lot of the times, if I'm trying to make a dodge, you'll probably see me get bitten instead. It is a bit art skill issue, but sometimes it's just one of these things that you just have to take account for, which is why I will definitely make use of extra healing items, especially during marathon runs, as much as I can, because you never know how hungry those zombies really are. We are now at the Raccoon Press, where we need to get the second of the two jewels. Simple thing is, go into this door and then quickly go into the office, grab the jewel and get out, and hope that the larger zombie there doesn't turbo on us. He does not. Good. That is very good to see. Back down the stairs and up the stairs and down the stairs, and now we have to place the two jewels into the slot to move on to the next area. We have to go in this specific pathway, by the way, because while Nemesis can be a little bit unpredictable in casual play, there are times where if you do enter certain rooms at certain points, he will appear. So going the same way that I did just there pretty much guarantees that Nemesis won't show up, which is very, very good. We're going to go into the City Hall and move on to the next area. Are there any more messages that you have for us, Oasis?
Well, I can always tell you about our good friends Timberwolf Trading. Make sure you take a few minutes to stop by our brand new Fall Fest 2025 merch collection all weekend long. We have 5 new shirts as well as an amazing assortment of stickers and art prints, all created by the fantastic artists from the Fast and Furious community. A portion of each sale of these items will be donated directly to Trans Lifeline, and worldwide shipping is available. The collection will only be available until the end of the marathon, so make sure you don't miss out. Use the command !merch in the chat for a link to the store, or visit timberwolftrading.ca/pages/fastest furs.
Excellent stuff. And that is another $3 to my total, by the way. In this room, you could have either had dogs or zombies appear, and we unfortunately got zombies, which is slower because you have to take time to use the flame barrels to take them all out, whilst you don't have to do that with the dogs. So that's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So we're currently up to $6 at the moment. Could it stay like this, or could it all change? We can only find out. Now, in this room here, the door opens. We have to get grabbed. Not that way, though. Not ideally that way. We had to get grabbed so we could push all those zombies down, which is what I did just then. But I got grabbed to the point where I was in caution. I had to use my heal. If you are in caution, you will see your character limp, and that gives you a slower run speed and a slower turn speed. We do not want that, so unfortunately I had to use my heal there. I might pick up an extra heal on the way to the next area, just in case, because things have been a little bit heated up here. Thankfully this room is free because the zombies temporarily despawn to allow you to pass. So in fact there are a couple of green herbs coming up here, so I will just pick up green herb here, just for safety. Here we have to place in the stone book in order to get the stone sphere, and then go back to the statue in order to get the battery to go to the substation. The substation is the first area where we have to get one of our 4 MacGuffins in order to escape the city via the cable car. That is good. He didn't grab us. Oh, I should not have stopped there. I realized that he was about to do the vomit attack, and I waited instead of stopped. That was my bad. It's crows. Anyway, now we're back here. Hopefully we don't get grabbed. Ooh, hello, Turbo. Nice to see you there. That's this game, everybody. That is this game. Sometimes it wants to play nice, and other times it's like, nah. Okay, we got bitten 4 times there. That's it's okay. It's okay. I'll live, but it's also a little bit unfortunate here. Now we have to try and dodge. Nice. And of course he didn't fall down. Sometimes, even if you do a successful dodge, they won't fall to the ground and you'll get bit anyway. Again, that's just how this game is. Oops. Now, the next bit of RNG is coming up after I try and escape these drain demos. Hello?
The substation, right?
The substation. Excuse me. How very rude. Right, so there are a bunch of zombies in the next room. We want them to actually be in front of the elevator we're coming down, rather than near the substation. Let's see what happens. And they're near the back. That's another 3. That is another 3, but it's fine. The reason why is because if they're near the front, then they're more likely to use their vomit attack rather than grabbing you. So here we have to do red, blue, blue, blue to get the fuse. If we were to have gotten the Magnum in the RPD station, this area is where we would get the grenade launcher. So if you were to get the Magnum on the run, this is what you'd have to enter a second code in order to open the other gate. But thankfully, we don't need to do that.
I believe it's red, red, blue, right?
It's red, 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 blue. Yes, correct. Top option again to escape. Now I'm going to sing a brief little nursery rhyme. You might recognize it as soon as this cutscene ends. Hi, Nemesis. Nice rocket launch you got there. Twinkle, twinkle, little. Shout outs to Bakwa Soup there. So now we are on the way to the dreaded pharmacy, where we have our big password thing we need to enter later. So while we are on the way there, is there anything you want to mention, Oasis?
Well, we could talk about how we have 2 foreign language restreams. For the second consecutive event, our friends at Furry Rapide are providing a French language restream, and we are also being restreamed by Japanese restream for the Japanese speedrunning community. We are grateful for their help in bringing our marathon to more viewers. If these restreams can help you enjoy our event, please use the command !restream in the chat for links to their respective channels.
Excellent stuff. So we're kind of almost going back to the beginning of the game, but not quite. Oh no, I've got hit on caution, and I do know where a heal is, so we're not in danger. It's just not entirely ideal, but you know, that's what happens. Probably should have picked up the herbs on the way here, but never mind. So the fire that we saw a lot earlier, this is what we need to use the fire hose for. Now, we are going to go to the pharmacy, and we have to guess a password in order to enter the room inside the pharmacy. Normally, you'd have to go and turn on a TV, and then you see the password there, but that's too slow, so we have to guess it. It is one of 3 different passwords. We want it to be Safsprin. The middle option is Adravil, and we do not want it to be Aquacure. So let's hope we...
You know what's annoying? The fact that Adravil is not the most common answer. It's the shortest one of the 3.
It is. And the weird thing is, you can actually add an extra letter when you put that in if it's the correct one, and it will still accept it anyway. I don't know why. It's just very strange. Let's see if it's Sasprin. No, it is not Sasprin. Let's try Adjuvil. Let's see. I can demonstrate that right now, actually. In there. Oh no! I got Aqua cured. No.
You got Aqua jerks.
Yeah. That's another 3. But I haven't actually had that in a while. It's all happening here. It is all happening here, apparently. So this is the next MacGuffin. We need to get the one of parts of the machine oil. And then, oh no, even more zombies. There's not really much that we can do here other than just push forward and hope many of them fall down. So let's see what happens. Okay.
I do want to say that. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I did want to say that we are a quarter of the way through the run, and we still want to make sure that we get that extra boss or extra final boss cutscene. So if you want to make it happen, we need $160 for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do.
はい、レイドありがとうございます。ただいま、ファーステストファースフォールフェスト2025の、公認ミラー配信を、しておりまして、今はバイオハザード3ですね。PC 版、日本語版ですね、これは。バイオハザード3ラストエスケープ 2% を、走っていますと。予定時間は50何分だこれ。予定時間57分なんでちょうどそうですね3分の1くらい過ぎたあたりですかね。ようこそいらっしゃいました。
If you select the bottom option, and that just wastes time for absolutely no reason, so pick the top option, and you'll be right as rain.
Literally, the only reason to drop down is if you're doing a kill all run and you want to kill worms.
Ooh, I actually didn't know that. That's a.
進行度的にはまあ市街地をまだうろうろしているんで、そうですね。
Rare dodge alley. Move over to make the zombie turn around. Good. And then, oh, wow, okay, he started.
どの辺なんですかね。なんか 2% なんですけど、そんなになんか悪いことはしていないというか、結構普通にやってる感じですね。この辺は結構狭いところを通って、なかなかゾンビ避けられないなぁと思いながらやった覚えがありますけど。まあ最初の警察署とかあの辺り、市街地はそろそろ抜けられるのかな。
Make it open all the rest of the way, and we're all good. Now, don't do what I did in one of my practice runs I did earlier this, and select no in the next prompt, because that is, do you want to throw the wrench away? That will just leave an extra item in your space for no reason at all, and yeah, that was not good. Now we need to play a lights out puzzle, where you have to simply have one light, occupy the lighted letter, which I'm not the best at, but there you go. That's 2. One more. Yeah, there you go. That still messes me up against us. That was kind of an okay puzzle thing, but we managed to get it in the end. Oh no, it's going to explode. Better run away, and it exploded.
No.
Now we get to see our good buddy again, Nemesis, as he tries to stalk us once again with his menacing roar.
お、ネメシス。
Just good.
追跡者来ましたね。
Because he only attacks with one arm normally, unless he has the rocket launcher, so you're safe to... excuse me? How dare you? Yeah, you could just simply go around him pretty much every time. Now
Also-
we have. Oh yeah, go on.
Go ahead. No, you're talking strategy.
No,
まあ、追跡者は結構その3やってた時はね、進出鬼没で厄介だなぁと思ったもんですけど、まあでも2の時点でもうタイラントがそんな感じだったんですよね。お、グレイブディガーかなこれは。超でかいミミズですね。大丈夫か？かなりしばかれてるけど。ああ、結構押し出されてるな。本当は撃退してから進むんでしょうけど、ああ、これ大丈夫か？やばくないかこれ。まあ強引に抜けられるみたいですね。倒さなくても、撃退しなくてもいいと。結構進み方があるんですね、これ。普通にやってるのでは気づかないような動きがあると。
Go ahead and start the cable car. Now, chat, I'm going to need your help for this. Because the next bit of RNG is either getting early powders or late powders. Essentially, when we first start the clock tower, I want powders to appear as early as possible. So I want early powders, please. Early.
あ、これであれですね。ラクーンシティ市街地抜けましたね、これで。
Press the top option again. And then Jill decides she wants to jump out a window. No. All right, now, early powders, please. Please. Pretty clear. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? And no, we have late powders. Boo. That's another 3. That is another 3. So the reason why we want early powders is we want to fill our inventory space with gunpowders and the next key item. So that we can skip a cutscene with Carlos giving us freeze rounds.
これ市街地を抜けて時計塔に入りましたね。まあ、バイオといえばゾンビと洋館。そういえばカルロスって3以降出てきてるんですかね。出てきてもおかしくないよなという感じですけど。今のところ出てきてない。見覚えがないですね。まあ、リメイク版の RE3 では当然出てきますけど。Now, next bit of RNG, which is one of the weirdest RNGs I've ever seen in this game. You will either go up the stairs, absolutely fine, or you'll get startled by Nemesis roaring and cost you 2 seconds. I don't know why that's a thing, but let's see. And there's an Nemi roar. There's another 3. Ooh, well, but hey, this is all for charity. This is all for Trans Lifeline. Trans rights! That's what it's all about. So we have the key, which we're going to use, and then we are going to go to the music box puzzle. So, thank goodness, it is a 1 change. Let me explain that. So the puzzle solution is always the same. Up, down, up, up, down, up. However, the starting position of the pegs are completely randomized, where you either have to change minimum at least 1 pegs or maximum of all 6 pegs. Thankfully, in this case, as you can see, I only have to move the D peg up, and then we are done. That is a 1 change. That is the best RNG, which is a... Thank goodness for that, eh? Da, 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 da.
Right. It's been a while since we had a little look. Are there any more messages you'd like to share, Oasis?
I do want to continue to harp on that we do want to make sure that we get that incentive met. We are halfway through the run and we are still at about $160 needed. So please get that in. We do have a $15 donation from Tiller that says, "Start a howl." Also, I love you, Oasis. You're perfect.
Excellent stuff. Another live selection. Guess what? It's a top option again. That pushes Nemesis off, and then he won't chase you. Earlier, I was doing the big.
Just kidding.
I was doing a bunch of item mixing to get the rounds needed for the Clock Tower Nemesis boss fight. It would either be 10 freeze rounds for early powders or 12 flame
め
rounds
っ
for the
ちゃ雲出るやん。
ooh,
こ
what
んな
we
にい
have
たっけ？
here, we have the next puzzle. I believe that was 7 o'clock. Let me just check once I get all those 3 stones. Basically, you have to put the 3 stones in the 3 places along the statue, depending on the starting time. And that is 7, so that's like very middle of the road. It's like 4 out of 6 in terms of like best. So it's all right. It's all right. So
not bad either.
So yeah, in this case, you have to go from left to right, obsidian, crystal, and amber. And that should leave the hand on 12 o'clock. And we should have the gold piece there. Now, while I am a tiny bit concerned about not having health items for the Clock Tower Nemesis boss fight, well, apart from that Spuda, touch there, I'm basically on nearly full health, and I do have loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of backup saves for basically nearly every room in the game. So if the worst happens, I am able to continue this as like a marathon run. It's just it won't be officially valid, but let's not worry about that.
さて、予定時間的にはそろそろ、半分を過ぎたあたりくらいですかね。
So we're now back to the top part of the clock tower, picking up the silver cog, and then we equip the grenade launcher, mix the cogs up, and then put it in to start the clock tower.
まあでも時計塔を越せば割となんか、またいつもの研究施設かなんか入れた気がするので、まあでもこうしてみると結構前半のその、ラクーンシティ市街地。
You're weak the whole fight.
結構長いんだなという、分量的に結構あるんだなという感じはしますね。あ、カルロスのパートかな？ぽいですね。まあ、負傷したジルを助けるためにカルロスを動かすんですけど、カルロスがね、ですかね、アサルトライフルかなんか持ってるんですけど、まあ、このアサルトライフルがね、弱い。弱いんだよな。奏者の人ももうさっさとハンドガンに持ち替えてますね。
Again, I do have a backup save just in case that happens, but I will let the door animation play out in full because that tends to not make it happen. So it's this door here. We're just gonna wait. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. We are good. We can continue. Right, so bunch of zombies. Oh no, go away. Excuse me. So there is a Dino Crisis poster you can see in one particular camera angle on the left. Now, 3, 2, 1, and it is gone. No more poster. You can't get that camera angle ever again. Sorry. Rip. And then we have a Hunter Beta. They are the most dangerous enemies in the game, bar none. Do not mess around with them whatsoever. If at any point your health is on caution, yellow caution or less, they have an ability to charge up an insta-kill attack, which is very quick. And once it activates, you cannot stop it. Oh yeah, when I play this, I have to say this. Also appears to be a slight fracture in his right arm just below the elbow. However. Right.
It is a very
going...
distinctly British voice, isn't it?
Just a bit. We do not want zombies on this floor. We don't have zombies on this floor. Hooray! That makes it, you know, particularly not nice. So yeah, now, as Oasis has already mentioned, there is something known as YOLO Carlos, where you have to go into a room and push a cabinet into one of 4 corners in order to open a safe. The solution is just going into the room opposite, which, you know, is very slow. So we're just going to YOLO it, as it were. However, it is a 1 in 2 chance rather than 1 in 4, because if the cabinet is showing from behind, like it is here, it will be towards the back of the room. If you see the cabinet from the front, it is towards the front of the room. Now, I'm hoping that it's going to be what's known as a 325 and not a 104. Why do you do this to me, video game? Why? So we have the worst possible...
何かミスったかこれ。
RNG there, and you know what? Because
何かミスったのか。
it's a YOLO Carlos, because a lot of runners usually just reset at this point. I'm for this particular one, I'm just gonna put in $5 in rather than 3. Why not? Why not? So yeah, each particular corner does have a particular combination, and for this one, it is 104. 104. Boom. And we have the vaccine base, I believe. One of them is the vaccine base, and the other one is the vaccine medium. So now we are gonna go.
なんでこんな病室にワクチンの素体が隠してあるんですかね。
Yeah. Excellent. So we want them to show up here because while you will get a couple of bites, it is a lot easier to use that explosive on the way out to get rid of them all at once. So that is why it's most ideal to have them there. So now we have the canister here, which we have to place into this machine as soon as we pull the switch. And oh, there seems to be some particular monsters in those containers which are now dry. Nah, nothing will happen, I'm sure. Anyway, the puzzle solution here is always the same, thankfully. It is 1, 3, and A. That will make the vaccine medium come up, and now we have what we need to get Jill up and safe. So let's just leave, shall we? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
お、ハンターが来ましたね。新型のハンターガンマだっけ？いましたね。
Because I don't want to use my first aid too early. Gonna go in the first floor. Okay, yeah. Now I'm using it. Now I'm using it because I'm like, yep, that's the caution there.
So Chad is really focused on the vaccine medium. Where's the vaccine high?
I assume it's in the same place where the vaccine low is. All right, so we are near Jill, but oh no, more zombies. We don't need to worry about them. And okay, spooters. That's actually good for me because then I don't have to run into drain demos that spawns in there sometimes. And what's this trying to destroy everything? It is Nemesis again. Yay! Yeah, we don't have to fight him, thankfully. We can just make our way to Jill. Fun fact, Nemesis appears here, and if you let Nemesis bash the door open, he can kill Jill there. It's a cutscene hardly anyone has ever seen, but it does exist. So, we're back with Jill.
Also game over.
Indeed. Our 1 item box usage in the game is swapping the reload tool for the knife, because we're going to be needing to use the knife a little bit later. Hi, Nemi. Bye, Nemi. So, because we are on late powders as well, I'm actually going to pick up the mine thrower weapon here, just to give us a little bit more of an extra edge against the final boss much later in the game. Then we move through here. I'm going to pick up some nade rounds. here, and then and then we're going to make our way towards the park. Oasis, are there any other nice things that you want to share?
I actually do have a $15 donation from Berzik, who says, maybe the vaccine medium means it's a powerful psychic. Also, let's see that cutscene. So now with that puts us at $145 away from seeing that end cutscene. If you want to see it, you still have time. Not much.
Not much indeed. 2 RNG things in a row. We wanted to see hunters here, so that's good. It's better than zombies. Here, we want to see dogs, and we have hunters. Great. I do not like having hunters in this room because they can very easily get you killed if you're not careful. But the reason why you do want to see the hunter gammers in this room is because they're just much easier to dodge rather than zombies. Because a lot of the time they'll just jump over you. Right. So you know what I'm going to do? Because I've not had the best of luck. I did pick up a red herb a little bit earlier on, so I am going to pick up a green and then mix a full here. Because again, you never know. You never know these things. Here, we have to put in the cogs, swap the cogs around as shown here, with the 2 white cogs on the bottom and the 2 black cogs on the top, middle, and top right, and you will drain the pool. And down it drains.
I do have another $25 anonymous donation for the extra final boss cutscene. Cutscene, please!
Cutscene, please! Absolutely, yes. More of those, please. Come on, let's get a little... Should we get a little train going or something? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So we're coming up to the cabin, where we get to use up a key, and we have to do even more gunpowder mixing. Fun times indeed. First, we're going to pick up this pole here. I'm actually going to do the gunpowder mixing after I open this particular room. So use the lighter here so that you can burn the wood in front of it, and then you can finally get rid of the lighter after all this time, after Jill waits ever so patiently for the wood to burn out very, very quickly. And then use the pole to open the room up here. So the reason why we want to use some more gunpowder mixing is that we want acid rounds for the next boss. So in order to make that, we pick up the 2 gunpowder bees here. 1 and 2, and then you mix them to get 2 double bees, mix them with grenade rounds to get the 12 acids, and then there we go. You know what? I'm gonna go into the save room as well, because look, there's another first aid spray. I am gonna gun for the rest of the heals in this run, because yeah, RE3 will just mess around with you like that. Even the best runners will end up resetting a lot of the time because of all these extra sort of hits, so don't worry, like, there's a lot of things that happens here in this run which are not quite... I know you're impressed, Nikolai, but hey. Right, the worm boss. So there is a chance you can get a 1-cycle worm boss here, but first you need to be skillful enough to quick shoot really good, and then hope that the worm boss doesn't actually end up in the ground earlier. So I reckon we're about maybe 2 more hits until the boss is down. We've got most of it down. We're gonna move into the position where it jumps out so that it will come out and grab us. I did get hit a couple of times there, which is why I healed. We want it to try and move up a little bit more fuller here. Hey, and it's down.
Let's celebrate that with a $10 donation from the Wayfaring Fox, getting a donation in to make this incentive for the extra final boss cutscene.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, that was, for me, that was a good worm. Like, top runners can get this worm boss down in 1 cycle, but for me in particular, it's it is very, very difficult to do. For a lot of people, it's very, very difficult to do. So maybe one day, though. Maybe one day. Now that we have the key we need, we just have to escape the park. But because there are other hunters... Wow, there's another turbo zombie there. Thankfully, it stopped to vomit. We just have to take a little bit of extra care with the extra hunters. It should be fine, but I'm just going to do a semi-brief concentration here. Okay, no, that's not ideal. Okay, keep on jumping like that, and I'll be happy. No. Okay. Got swiped a couple of times there, but yeah. You know, I'll take that. I'll accept that. So we have this live selection actually determines the ending of the game, but we want the bad ending because it's faster. Nemesis jumps out, and the camera is in a particular spot for that. Entering what's known as the Dead Factory, where we have 2 last bits of RNG stuff remaining. The first of which is the enemy placement in the sewers, and then the water puzzle. Oh no. But before we have to worry about the water puzzle, we have to pick. And then we move on to the steam room, where normally you'd have to go around the room and push various buttons to get the steam to stop. But if you have the steam coming out from just the bottom here, not the top, you can push in and you can just about get the prompt to push the button without you needing to do the puzzle all the way through. So that little bit of trickery saves you quite a bit of time. Then you just have to press a couple buttons to get the steam to the right position to get out. Then you have to do the following. Go into the hallway, enter this door while unlocking the door, immediately go in, pick up the Mo disc. Oh gosh, I'm gonna heal. Then I can pick up the Mo disc, and then immediately leave the room and re-enter, because that repositions the zombies in the room. That way you can continue unimpeded into the lift. Moving into the lift, so we go towards the bottom. There's all sorts of enemies that spawn in the next room, but that's not what I'm worried about. In the sewers, there are 2 enemies that can spawn. One, which is the small worms. The others are hunters. We do not want hunters. We have the worms! Yeah! Now, it's so important because, as you can see, all the worms can do is just, you know, latch onto you and cause you a bit of a nuisance. Hunters, again, can kill your run very, very quickly. So be super, super careful. You know what? I'm gonna do something a bit unconventional because I just realized my inventory is full again. I don't need a lockpick anymore. You don't normally do this, but I want to increase the space. I don't want to use all my heals. So here is the water sample. Now, the water puzzle. It's a very notorious puzzle amongst casual fans. However, there is something that you could use to help you. It always has 4 different starting positions, and the one we got is the second best, which is high-low. Ideally we wanted high empty. Worst is medium empty. You see the top left with the bars. You see the 3 squares on the left and the 1 square on the thing. That is considered high-low. For this, we only have to do A, left once, and then B is pushed left twice, and then C is pushed right twice, and then that should be that for the puzzle. Let's see if this is correct. It's looking good. It's looking good, and boom! All right, that is the end of our little dono challenge, because that's the last bit of RNG that's happened. I don't have the final total in my head, but we can easily work it out towards the end.
Speaking of donations, I have a $5 donation from the G Groove, who says every video game is secretly a Resident Evil game. You cannot convince me otherwise. I also have a $50 donation from Noah, with no comment, but it goes towards the extra final boss cutscene. So we are halfway. We are halfway on that 110. So now that's 55 to go.
And there's not a lot of time left because there are only 2 bosses left, and this is the next one coming up. So I'll have to explain this boss, because during the boss fight I will require brief complete silence from everyone, because it does require sound cues. So basically how this works is you can use conventional weaponry if you want in a casual playthrough to defeat this boss. However, in the speedrun, it is much better to use the knife to hit the different acid valves that are littered around the room and you have to do that 3 times in order to get rid of Nemesis. However, Nemesis has eyes and a brain. If he sees you blatantly using an acid valve right in front of him, he will walk away and not get himself hit. So I have to make sure to do it while he's attacking me. I have to use particular sound cues and music timing in order for me to do this. So wish me luck, everyone. It's about to start. Let's see how it goes.
Give me $5 donations. Favorite RE characters.
That's one. That's not what I wanted, but we can network with this. Come on.
Wow, he's being a packer.
結構いろいろやってくるんですね、ネメシス。
Really coming up on that deadline, folks. Oh!
That was not what I wanted. It's all right.
これでもうっかり死ぬと結構大変なんじゃない？死ねないよな、もう。
Okay, that's 2. So now that his head is removed, he will just attack willy-nilly.
Does he still know where you are? I forget.
He will always try and walk towards me. There you go. Got it. Whew. Now,
I have good news for you.
Oh yeah? What's the good news?
Incentives met.
Yeah! We're going to give Nemesis style.
Yes, we have a $50 donation from Doris from down the street that says, "Dearie me, those monsters down there are making an awful racket, and it's hard for me to sleep. Can someone please take care of them for me? Thank you, lovelies." We also have a $5 donation from Ian Keith, who said, "My favorite RE character is the boulder that Chris punches in Resident Evil 5, closely followed by Lewis, while he's smoking away the last of his blood in RE4 make."
Right, you know what? Because this has been going so well for me, let's pick up these herbs.
Almost too well.
Almost too well, yes. Alright, I was supposed to do what's known as the wolf line there, but the zombies were just in the worst position possible. First thing is we gotta use this card to open the door. We have zombies on the way, but they'll usually be nice. Usually, being the key word. They're really not playing nice today, are they? Right, so we are now near the end, friend. And you know what? Let's pick this up too. Just to be sure. So we have the final zombie in the game, which I won't use the normal way we say it, but I will say, see if we get past it. Oh, we passed it. You child born out of wedlock. So now we are in the final room. Thankfully, the incentive has been met. This is where I would have cut it off. So the way the final boss works here, we do have hidden values on health, HP. Bosses, including this boss, will always have 800 HP. The idea is that we need to reduce its health to at least 200 or less, and then have that rail cannon there fire upon the boss to destroy it. It will take away health if it's above 200, so like you will never softlock yourself It'll just make it easier for you if you damage it first. If you get its health to 0, it will always go back to this location where you see it now to nom off the body, and then the rail cannon will just fire on it anyway. So yeah, we just have to damage it pretty quickly, as it's just now a big gigantic monster here. First things first, we pushed the battery 1, and you know, we have to do everything in threes, don't we? So we have to push in battery 2. 2. And then battery 3 is right over here. Jill, please.
Battery connected.
Connected. And both Jill and Nemesis wait patiently for the rail cannon to start. I don't know why. We just want to be polite, you know. It will just continually fire in bursts. So now I'm able to fight the monster. First things first, let's get the mine launcher out. They've got 2 left. Okay. Okay, and we're just gonna go through the grenade launcher now. Good. And let's do freeze rounds next. Come here, you.
This is basically just about unloading everything you have.
Yep. Not that close. Okay. Now that the wall is destroyed, let's see if we can get rid of you.
We do have one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We did have one final donation come in. I think the timing of it was a little weird because it still went towards the final boss cutscene after it closed. But it's still a $5 donation from Bursic, who said his favorite RE character is Leon for absolutely messing up everything.
That was a great fight. We got it in 2 cycles, which is the best you could do it. So, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. We have now defeated the boss and we can now leave. But wait, as soon as you hit the door... Oh no! It's still alive!
Oh, no. What are we going to do?
Normally in a world record run, you would press
さて、時間的にはもうそろそろクリアですけど、どうなんだ？だいぶネメシスをしばき倒してますけど。そうですね、ボスとしてはもうこれ、いませんよね。ああ、もうヘリが来たんで。うん。カプコンのヘリですけど、このヘリは落ちないヘリですね。はい。タイマーストップです。グッドゲームでした。そう、最後だから、最後だから落ちない。そう。
I don't want to keep anyone waiting. What was the RTA for that out of interest?
54:43.
You know what? I'll take it for a marathon run. I'll take it because quite a few things happened that was kind of in my way a little bit. So I'm happy with that.
例えばバイオハザード9の舞台はこの滅菌作戦が行われた後のね、ラクーンシティみたいですね。どうなることやらですけど。
Yeah, you know what? How about, you know what? Since it's Resident Evil 3, let's round it up to 30. Yeah.
30.
All right, well, thank you everyone.
アウトブレイクともね、関連があるということで、ちょいちょいやってる人見ますよね。アウトブレイクってもう結局、あれなんですかね。昔のソフト買うしかないんですかね。
guys, you'll be hearing from me a little bit later on the weekend, because I do have some hosting shifts as well in the next 2 days. But that's it. That's it from me.
まあソフト買うしかないってなるとちょっと
I'll hand it back to you, Oasis.
ハードルがあるかもしれないですね。レクイエム。楽しみですね、9。
Yes, absolutely.
まあ、レクイエム、アウトブレイク。まあ、アウトブレイクやっといた方がいいんでしょうけどね。
For everyone who helped to make that donation incentive possible. I do want
いや、でも1時間かそこらで終わっちゃうもんなんですね。
onto the new donation incentive that was opened before this game, which was the Jack and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy bonus game incentive. That needs $995 more in order for it to be met, and we only have about 2 hours to accomplish it. But chat, I know you. I know you can do this.
めっちゃクレーターできてましたね、今ね。
Please go ahead and send your donations. Tell us everything that you wanted to know. Tell us how you're feeling about Resident Evil Requiem. Tell us how you felt about Silent Hill F. We want to hear it, but we'll only say it if you donate. So please, make sure that bonus game gets met.
はい、では、あれなんだ今の今のカットインは何だったんだ。
We'll be right back after this. Go ahead and get a nice stretch.
はい。ここまでのタイトルは、バイオハザード3ラストエスケープでございました。ではタイトルの切り替え等ございますので、少々お待ちください。